Well, hi folks. Yep, another day, another way. Well, I was going to be working on my trailer today and getting the topper on, and ended up being that there was a couple other things I needed to do. There was a couple of items I needed yet to be able to, once I cut the ceiling out, be able to get that topper in place and mold it in place. A couple of parts I needed to buy, and I got out and started running around picking things up, and well, I got to get a spare tire and a mounting rack for that spare tire. Well, I found those pretty reasonably priced too. So I've been doing all this running around, and it's been quite a bit of running around, and I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking, Lordy, I get over there, I could put maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours into that trailer. It's going to take me a half hour just to unload the thing, get it empty, work on it for 2 to 3 hours, then another half hour, 45 minutes of putting everything back in it to lock it up for the night. And I thought, okay, the day got off to a rough start. Don't go over there and frustrate yourself. I've got this whole week to get it done, right? Well, so I waylaid working on the trailer for today. And what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to go for a road trip. And I don't know if I'll be showing anything on the way or not on the video. I may not. But I'm taking a road trip down to Black Lake, one of my favorite campgrounds, one that's within reasonable distance of here. But it is 65 miles from here to that campground. So it is quite a long road trip. So I'll pick you up somewhere along the way, and we'll try to keep the video fairly short and mostly about the campground when I get there. But that's what I'm going to do this afternoon, and just enjoy the afternoon. And tomorrow I'm going to strike out real early. I got everything I could possibly need to get my topper installed. So tomorrow I'm going to try to put in one good full day of working on that topper, and then on Wednesday, today's Monday, on Wednesday I'll go back, and hopefully on Wednesday I'll be buttoning it all up, and I'll be done. I'll be done with the topper. And the trailer, then there's just a couple little TLC items that I want to do, and I'm ready to go camping after that. So hey, I'll see you down at Black Lake, or close to. We'll see you down that way. Well folks, here we are. We're coming into Black Lake Campground. I'm going to pull down in here and stop at their day use area before I take the drive through and check out all the campsites. And then from there, that's what I'm going to do, is a drive through, and I'll point out some of the campsites that I prefer, show them to you, and show you where we're going to be going this summer. I plan on coming to this campground several times this summer, so all goes well, of course. I just love this campground. It's an awesome place. Set deep in the woods here. Got another vehicle coming. Is very narrow. Yep. Some folks, they figure, well, this is so narrow in here, I'll just drive down the middle and you can get out of my way. But that fellow was kind enough, he got over to the side. This is a day use area here. I'm gonna pull in to the day use area. Yeah, I'm I'm going to park for a moment. Well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but in the trees here, over here, or in the trees, there's a camper. And guess what? That camper belongs to Destination Great Lakes. Some dear friends I met last year at this campground, and I really miss these folks. I miss these folks. And they've got a new host campsite. They were the campground hosts last year. They're the hosts again this year. That's awesome. That means this campground's going to be excellent. They're the best hosts I've ever met. And they've got a beautiful host site here. I just love it. Just love it. So I can't wait until I can get out here and spend a week at a time hanging out in the campground and knowing that they're here. So let's take a little ride through the campground. And I'm going to be getting out occasionally and looking at a couple different sites. And one nice thing is now that they're moved up here at the front of the campground, that means their original site that they had for the host site will be available for use. Ho ho! And that's a good site. So I'm going to stop there and check it out if there's no one in it. Boat landing, everything looks good as usual. The little river here is flowing good. Yep. I love this campground. I just love it. See, now I wouldn't mind this campsite. There's someone in it, but and it's close to the host. This second campsite's not bad either. I'd have to walk in and take a look at the lake access. There's folks here. There's folks here. Most of these campsites on this end, they're okay campsites. They're good campsites, but it seems this is where everybody wants to be. It's down on this end, and then they want to be close to the water pump here and the beach. The beach is right down here. So these campsites for me are, yeah, they're deal breakers, because you get a lot of family groups close to that area. From here on, it thins out a little more. That's a heck of a group there. They got 3 tents set up in there, regular tents. This isn't a bad site. Now this is where I like, is up ahead, the loop. That's a beautiful campsite, that one there. Oh, I believe that's 19. Yeah, that's 19. You can't get that one. That thing's reserved all the way out to August. Now this is where I want to be, is out here on this loop. Tends to be quiet. There's only a few campsites back here, and all of them except for one have pretty good water access. And the one that I usually get is the one that isn't the best water access. That's the very first campsite here, coming up here on the right, which is number 20. I see somebody's in the old host campsite, 21. 20 is a nice site, but the lake access for my kayak is a bummer. Here at 21, it's non-reservable, first come, first serve. And there's somebody in there. Now, 22, it's small campsite, but not a bad campsite. I'm gonna pull down here. 23 is occupied. That's got 2 tents and a big screen house. And it's reservable. 24 is a good campsite. It's a really good one. 25. I want to check this one out because I like 25. But I got to take a look at the lake access. I'd have no problem putting a trailer in here. Line my truck up a little different here. There we go. I'm gonna take the camera off of its windshield mount, and I'm gonna take it with me, and I'm gonna look at this campsite. I'll take you with. Now this campsite, I really like this campsite. Now I can put my trailer in right here. The door, of course, would be facing this direction. The fire pit's over here, table. And I could put this is nice shaded campsite. And I could put my screen house up right here. That's awesome space. Lots of space. It's a little close to the other campsite, 24, but that's not such a bad deal. It's far enough. If I don't have disruptive types there, that's not a bad deal. Now what I got to do though is look at where can I put my kayak. So we'll head down the trail here. See, this trail intersects with the lake trail that goes all the way around the lake, and it cuts down through here and through this way. Now it's, I don't know, maybe 150 feet down here. See, the lake trail heads up through there, and this comes right down here, and check it out. Oh man, that's an awesome spot for putting in the kayak. Oh my gosh, would this be perfect? This would be absolutely perfect in here. Oh, do you see I don't know if you can see him or not. There's a loon right there. Oh, he just dove under. That loon was only about maybe 30 feet or so out there. It got wise to me the minute I pointed the camera at it. But see, I can pull the kayak right up here, beach it, and cable it right to that big birch tree right there. It'd be safe and secure sitting here. It's not terribly far from the campsite. There's the loon. I hope you can see it. He's just floating right there in front of me. I hope you can see him. Pretty bird, pretty bird, pretty bird. I have trouble zooming with this GoPro for some reason. I guess I gotta get better at using my GoPro. That's perfect. I can see coming down here having the kayak just off to the side here, plop myself a camp chair down here, and just enjoy the whole eastern end of the lake, looking out over the eastern end of the lake. Now out around that bend is some of the best fishing in the world back there. You can get into some northerns back in there and good bass. So if I can, I think I'll reserve this site for $90. I could reserve this site for 14 days. I'm really tempted to do that. Do a 2-weeker. I'll find a slot that this site's open for 2 weeks and I'll grab it. This is beautiful. This is beautiful in here. And the nice thing about it, one of the very nice things about it is you're only going to have one neighbor, and that's this campsite over here. They've got an adjoining trail to this trail that goes down to the lake. They've got their own lake access back in there. I remember going down there and seeing it. It's a nice lake access. But this site here, there's no other site on this side. No site here at all on this side. Now, if you go down that trail where I was, and you cut across and you follow the lake trail, it takes you right to the garbage bins. So, 25 is the site I want to reserve. So I got to look for a 2-week slot and reserve it so that I don't have to concern myself with availability and just lock this site in. And that would be 2 weeks that this old boy would be super happy. So guys, there's my first visit to Black Lake. I am so happy I find out that Destination Great Lakes is the host again. They're all set up. They're way on the other end of the campground. So we'd be opposite of each other quite a ways. I can jump in the truck and in 2 minutes be down there. And if you see me looking off, I'm just loving it. I'm seeing birds around. You might be able to hear them singing, but there's a woodpecker playing on a tree right there. Yeah, I love it here. It's peaceful. Now, there's a ton of people. I just walked down there to the lake and back. You don't hear anybody. It's always peaceful here. I haven't had a bad experience in this campground yet. Now, I know things happen, and they've had some people that were noisy, but typically it's nice like this, quiet. I just love this campground. I think what I'm going to do is when I get home, I'm going to look. You can pre-reserve these sites. I'm going to look at this site, and I'm going to find a 2-week block, and I'm going to go ahead for $90 for 2 weeks out here. And it's close enough to Clam Lake that after the first week, I can go up to Clam Lake and resupply if I want. Or I can go further to the town of Mellon and resupply if I want. So I think I'm going to come here and spend 2 full weeks. I can kayak, I can fish, I can just sit around, I can do bushcrafting, I can just enjoy it. Just spend 2 weeks taking it in. Now that means I won't be doing, I won't be posting videos, I won't be doing live streams for 2 whole weeks. But I think you folks would understand why after seeing what I showed you. So I want to thank you all for tagging along today on this trip down here to Black Lake. And hey, If you haven't subscribed, please do. Oh, I got my first skeeter. First skeeter I've seen this season. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please subscribe. And there's going to be a lot of content coming from this summer. I now have memberships. If you'd like to become a member of the channel and help support my travels and my content, please become a member. There's 3 different tiers. You can be a hiker, a camper, or an outdoor lover. And there's certain perks that go with being a member. So consider it. Consider it. And if you will, please give me a thumbs up on this video. Please do. And I'll tell you what, love y'all. Love y'all. Anybody that is watching this, I know they love the outdoors. So for that in itself, we're of kindred spirit. Till the next time, guys, you take very good care of yourselves. Get outdoors. Enjoy every moment you can. Life is short. Life is so short. And until the next time, you all have a very, very nice day. Bye-bye.